Television.
Hola bafethu, welcome to our page Fan Experience. I'm with my boy Bashimani Mkwanazi. Today we are going to be dissecting and analyzing into ezenzakalayo within the football fraternity la eMzansi. As you all know, there has been fans abanemi ukuthi bazohamba baye World Cup baze babafando yisafa, but hey, there's a lot of controversies kulezo zinto lezo, and then ezinye izinto sizozwa ukuthi Bashimani yena unayiphi input esingayithola kuye esingayazi about football and such things. Bashimani,
Hola, wait. Long Mkwanazi that matters. Kinabashimani Mkwanazi, and today we're going to be dissecting a lot of things from the list that came out today. Yeah, Gaten McKenzie as the Minister of Sports and Recreation. Also going to be talking about the UEFA Champions League, Arsenal versus Atletico Madrid. Not forgetting the Betway Premiership that is happening today. Orlando Pirates, stellenbosch. There's Magesi and Orbit and Akitsu Hunaleng, but then all of those things are going to be covered in today's episode. Thank you.
so first thing on our agenda vandaag is that how is it possible ukuthi we are going to the World Cup, but the fans that we know, ama super fans or my team, were not selected. For example, Ubota Buthelezi, we know is there in every game edlala South Africa, whether se Cape Town uyaneta, whether 7 uyashisa, but makudlala iPSL Ubota uhlezi khona. But funny enough, he's not part of the list. I don't know where's the criteria to select for those people or bathathwe kanjani. And also we don't see Mama Joy, because you know Mama Joy has been part of our football for the past 2 decades. Umuntu esimbona ku TV, she's been the face of South African super fan. So I don't know what to say kanjani. On this list, we have the likes of Bonagele, Hlengezi Numza, Orlando Pirates. We don't even know. We have never even seen of that person. We have Sebe Tusi, OTX Galaxy, Adam Mtombeni, Kaizer Chiefs, Bonagele John Thabo, Siwelele, Dumiso Zondi Amazulu, NS Jacobs, Stellenbosch, Happiness Dumagaute, Golden Arrows, Venetius Mutwi, Kaizer Chiefs, Obakeng Mahara, Mamelodi Sundowns, Mamelo Constant, Mamelodi Sundowns, Niki Sereko Mkwena, Orbit College, Adam Stockbeck, Chippa United, Tavin Pillay, Salman Khan, Terafatso Sello. I don't think you have even heard of those fans, in any page. Aircon, I couldn't South African football, or you have seen them win. Maybe a few. I can think of the lady from Golden Arrows, because she was the super fan who winning the match against Chiefs. It was a home match at KZN. She won the prize money, Betway Premiership. So those are the things that we are going to be talking about today, because we don't understand what is happening. Obvious administration here, Petanga. We are just fans sharing our opinion about what we see and what is happening.
No, I think that Minister wanted to do things out of the ordinary. Saying that is to say it's a fan experience, and so it meant that maybe there was a criteria that they used to determine as to who's going to go to America for the World Cup. And as you rightfully say that, but Mama Joy, those are seasoned campaigners or seasoned supporters of South African football. So it makes us also to wonder as to what was the criteria used by the Minister of Sports and Recreation, Gaten McKenzie, in determining who's going to go and have a fan experience Bafana in this upcoming World Cup. But also I think that maybe Mama Joy, they've been given that experience and that opportunity to go from the Olympics, Rugby World Cup, Cricket World Cup, every type of sport in South Africa, you would find Mama Joy. So I think maybe they thought, or maybe it's better if maybe they can give other fans and supporters a chance to just go and enjoy themselves abroad in America. So I think maybe that was maybe the criteria, the selecting criteria that they used go as Minister of Sports, but also maybe there was a rifle in that maybe they just picked out names. But as you say, there are people like Obakeng, the Mamelo from Mamelodi Sundowns. Those are super fans of Mamelodi Sundowns, and they made the cut. So it makes us wonder as to what was the selection criteria. But overall, I think that the Minister of Sports did a good thing by inviting all fans of all participating teams in the Betway Premiership to go and enjoy themselves in the World Cup.
One more thing, I'm worried. In this list, we do not have a fan of Polokwane City. And I don't know what's happening with Abantu Base Polokwane if they're not supporting their team. We don't even have one name of a fan of a Polokwane City who's going to the World Cup, which is sponsored by SAFA. Nonetheless, we are going to be talking about other things that happened. As we know, PSL Gubanama Awards. So for this month, Coach of the Month, it's Cardoso. It's been two consecutive months. I win Alento Lena. And then the other player is also Napoleon because in the last 4 games, I think he has 1 assist and 1 goal, and he's been influential. Uma game with Pirates, so that thing makes sense with Vele at this current moment. Also, Napolis, why deserve Gutawe man of the match. Even though all the hype is being around Mfukeng, also Napolis has had the same impact as Mfukeng. The difference is that Mfukeng has been scoring my hat-trick and all of this, but also Napolis has been a key important player for Pirates even before this month. The player of the month, even the previous month. I thought there was a time whereby Mfukeng was not around. Pirates was dependent a lot on Mfukeng, but now everything was dependent a lot on Apolis. But now since Mfukeng has found back his feet, saying I just still style of play as a coach, he's the main man again. And then Ricardo also, him winning coach of the month, I think it shows Uguti is starting to understand the Sundowns way, how Sundowns does things. Because I still remember when he arrived, we were skeptical with Sundowns. But when we look at how Sundowns has been playing for the past couple of months and how he move on a corner, it's like they start slow. As soon as the engine starts to get warm, they are unplayable. Because you can see now, Woody, it's going to be difficult for a lot of teams to Woody to stop. Yeah.
I think if you are also in a police, you can see, and it's evident and clear that he's been an influential figure in that Orlando Pirates setup. I think that he deserves the Player of the Month, April, in that he got 2 assists and 1 goal in that month. So it just goes to show the kind of quality that South Africa has in terms of, because every player now in South Africa, they want to raise their hands and make sure that Hugo Bros selects them for the World Cup. But with Apolis, I think that Apolis this season at Orlando Pirates, mind you, it's his first season at Orlando Pirates, and how he got to understand the style of play sa Pirates, because of, I wouldn't say his style of play sa Coach Ward, but his style of play is the culture of Orlando Pirates. So I think that he adapted very quickly and he found himself very quickly, understood the philosophy that is there in Orlando Pirates. He understood the players together with Mfukeng, Butuma, Rem. They've created a deadly combination this season. So I think that he deserves it, and maybe would have gotten the Player of the Month a few months ago, but because of maybe Mfukeng at the time, they came back, got the hat-trick, did the brace, and so maybe they were recognized. But with Apolis, I think for me, it's also a contender of Player of the Season. It's also a contender of Players Player of the Season and Midfield of the Season. So I think that he deserves it from the performances that he's been giving us so far. He deserves it. Also, maybe if you look at the type of goals also that he scores and the type of impact that he has on the pitch, the influence, even if he's off the ball runs, such things, you can see that he's a boy that is ready for the World Cup. And so with Cardoso, I think that as Mapuane said, that maybe they had a slow start to the campaign, and a lot of fans, some Sundowns, were worried as to whether is he the right person for the job or not. But I think that maybe after 15 games to 20 games, or maybe after 15 games of the league, Sundowns started to find their form, and they are on a streak now of 11 games winning, straight wins. So I think that he deserves it. He's been a coach of the month for the past 3 months, and it goes to show that Mamelodi Sundowns, when they really mean it to say they're stepping up, they do step up. So I think it's big ups to the technical team of Mamelodi Sundowns, the supporters, and everyone who's behind the scenes, that Mamelodi Sundowns, ensuring that Cardoso gets the best out of the players that he has there for Mamelodi Sundowns. And also good luck to them for CAF Champions League.
Yeah, Bafetu, as you can hear, Guti, after Pirates has been, Pirates has been an on-form team,
Yeah.
and you see what's happening with the Betway Premiership. As today, Pirates is going to be facing a very, very, very difficult Stellenbosch. It has, I don't know, Martini, if Ivugile from Mafile or Ganjan, but ever since Gavin had took over, I think the first 4 games they struggled, but now they've started to identify and understand what Kevin Hart wants, how they must play. Because knowing Kevin Hart, when he used to be at Wits, he was a very, 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 very tactical coach. Even though Willie Porter, but he used to give Pirates a lot of problems, even Chiefs. Even if you can look at the last game against Stellenbosch versus Sundowns, he was very tactical about the approach of the game. He did not want to go pound for pound at Sundowns. He just wanted to block them in the middle so that they don't play, so that it becomes easy. Because the Sundowns is a team, even before, it's more similar to Pirates. So today, I think Kevin Hunt is going to put the same plan whereby make sure they are behind the ball, but they don't fall back too much, whereby it seems like Papaki pass. They're going to do what we call a mid block and counter press Pirates. Every time when Stellenbosch wins the ball, I am 110% sure they're going to try to do diagonal passes so that they can outrun Pirates, because the Pirates is a high line football. And then the Pirates, lately I've noticed with my team up and my coaches, they've seen if you want to stop them now, they're more similar like Mamelodi Sundowns. You just block them in the middle. When they go aside in, they're not really that dangerous. They're actually team across side, team from a team. So players know good, okay, if you want to kill them, you identify makumfuke space, ublock police, make sure ukuthi umbata aga jump in a ball alphethe ukuthi Pirates izokwazi ukudlala. But nonetheless, if Pirates were to come up with a different approach today, like today, and then they come with, okay, we are going to play a ball a little bit similar to Laga Jose Rivero, because as I'm saying now, a Pirates is not playing the same football as previously with Jose Rivero. Now it's faster, it's more running, whereby with Jose Rivero is about creativity, creating space for yourself, moving a little bit of individual brilliance. But now Pirates is, I don't know, I cannot say it's transition, because it's not transition football. They are trying what we call yay press football, but they don't really press you that much, Pirates. The only thing is that they suffocate you by attacking you constantly. When they have the football, their idea is to create chances and score, and they play the game. But they've become a little bit more predictable. That's why Matimamani is good. If you just block them in the middle, they won't play. So that's why I say they need players like Abo, Maswangani. They need a player like Kabelo Dlamini. For me personally, it gave me fun today. They needed something different. Someone who's going to make the game with Paul, Afagela, have space, have space. I frustrated Stellenbosch because if you don't frustrate Stellenbosch in the middle, they're going to give you a problem. That is a real fact. They have an amazing player, without even Titus. No, those two players, one of the best wingers are called I don't know why they're not rated yet, but I mean among Babugela what they're playing, it's just been made they're playing for a small team. When you look at Titus numbers and when you look at Phillips numbers, they are players who will give problems with Pirates, because Titus, Woto is going to bomb forward and leave space. So they're going to make sure they utilize the space Woto, or utilize the spaces in order for them to win. But the most important player today for Stellenbosch will be in the middle of the park. So we're not sure yet one, because we don't know the lineup. But into Nyaziyo, Unda, a former Orlando Pirates player, is now a Stellenbosch player. He's not even loaned. Yes, they've loaned Umabasa Pirates, but Unda is a player of Stellenbosch. He's going to come out with a point to prove. With Lava, they lost the player in him. So I don't really think today Pirates is going to win. Probably it's going to be a draw, whereby after this draw, Sundowns will Itati League. Even if you would lose tomorrow, if Pirates draws today, Sundowns will Itati League. And then I don't know Mkwana's Wibona Ganjan, because I see one far. I ask Bafi to fan experience my opinion work. Mkwana's.
No, I think that maybe with Stellenbosch, from when the season started and where they are now, I think that they've improved very much, because of, you look at Steve Barker and where they were before Kevin Hunt came. They were a team that was fighting relegation, but now they have ambitions at top 8. So it is going to be important also for Orlando Pirates today to make sure that to show us, in fact, that they are a championship material. They can win where it matters the most. And it's not going to be difficult. It's not going to be easy playing go Cape Town against the steady side that also wants to see themselves within the top 8 and play MTN 8 football next season. But I think that the most important things that we ought to see maybe or expect today from Orlando Pirates is the first 15 minutes. I think that Orlando Pirates will come out guns blazing. They'll want the goal so that they can calm the nerves down and understand that maybe the approach after 15 minutes can be different from how they started. So it's going to be a test for Orlando Pirates today. If Vele they don't win today for them, there's no draw, there's no lose. They ought to win so that they can be still in contention for the Betway Premier League. But then other than that, I think that today's game between Pirates and Stellenbosch is going to be an interesting game in that the center pairing of Muluisan and Linda is going to be important to contain the likes of Mbutuma, to contain the likes of Mfukeng, and also from the wings, there is also Napolis. I'm not sure about Murem. I think he's a doubtful starter today because he picked up an injury against Kaizer Chiefs. So I think that if in the absence of Muremi, Orlando Pirates is a team that has a lot of depth. There are players like Msendami, we've never seen him. There are players like De Jong coming from Stellenbosch. I think that today he will get an opportunity to just showcase himself against this former side. And also talking about people coming from former sides, Wanda, they'll also want to prove a point. Umabasa, they'll want to prove a point. And also maybe, as you rightfully said, to say that Orlando Pirates, when it attacks, usually they attack the wing. They come at you with pace. They come at you through the middle. So those spaces behind Siema today will have to stretch in covering the both sides. And then Wombata or whether it's Nemtajela or Makaula, they'll have to draw back and then do a flat three. But then other than that, I think that today we're going to see an interesting game of football between Orlando Pirates and Stellenbosch. And my score prediction today, I think Orlando Pirates 2-0. Yeah. And also, there are other games. It's a Betway Premiership. We have Magesi Orbit. I don't know how do you see Magesi and Orbit playing out today, because of, you must understand that they are fighting, they are playing relegation battle, those two teams. So Magesi is number 14, Orbit is number 16. So in that being said, I think that today's game also, Orbit Magesi is going to be a 6-pointer. So each one of them will have to come out and play good football.
Yeah, there in Magesi's game today, it's a decider who stays and who goes up. The way I see it, it's going to end 1-0. Magesi is going to win the game, because when I look at how they play and how they present themselves in the last few games, you can see this is a team that wants to stay in the PSL. When you look at Orbit, it has an idea of how to play, but the effort from the players, you can see it's not there. Even when they're playing against a team like Chiefs, which is not really playing that well, they make Chiefs to look like they're a world-class team, which shows the level of Orbit College. They're not really that adding, not that, I don't want to say adding value to PSL. They are not really putting enough effort. But when you put enough effort, we can see, okay, these ones are playing football to win, not just adding numbers. Because when you look at that game against Chiefs, it was like Chiefs by Spain Munich, and you know with Chiefs it's Alamanga. They don't even play football which is convincing to the eye. You're just shocked with Bakora Ganja. You understand? So that thing tells you a lot about the standard of level of football LMs, especially when my team a promoter a Pumago Championship. Not that we are speaking bad about them or anything. And the game in Makesi, Orbit, Makesi has advantage because they're at home. Also, Orbit College, they have a captain who's, I think, the oldest player with PSL, or if I'm not mistaken. He's not around. And ever since he's not around, Orbit has been lacking a little bit of direction inside the ground. So it's going to be a decider there, 6-pointer. The game at Chipa United versus Kukune United, as you know, Kukune United, is going through problems. I don't know what's happening because they are one of the best. They recruited the best this season. I was expecting them to give at least Sundowns the Pirates challenge, but even Chiefs is better than them. I don't know what's happening. Okay, Chipa United, chop and changing team. You know, since they've brought you Coach Law, who used to be Coach Rogers Bay. He's trying to create a team that prioritizing winning at home. They're trying to create a fortress in their neighborhood, in their stadium. They make sure that Agna team figure is even though when you're looking at watching when they play, you see okay, there's lacking maybe one or two things so that they can be a proper football team. And then the game against Siwelele FC at Durban City, it's also going to be an interesting game because Siwelele is fresh from winning against Chiefs. So in South Africa, you know, winning against Chiefs is like winning a final. So their confidence is only high. And then Durban City, they are from winning in Nedbank Cup. They are also on a high. So today's game between Durban City and Siwelele, I'm expecting a high scoring game because both of them are high on confidence. Unless if I'm a player with Durban City, as a excitement to take the winning cup, then they don't arrive at crowd. Finally, then Siwelele will move all over them. So the game is Siwelele Durban City, I'm expecting a 2-2. Magesi 1-0 to Magesi. Chipa United next Kukune, I'm expecting 2-1 Kukune. Keleto Makhala is trying to prove to Hugo Proswood. Namwang Faga, 23 men, is going to try to do everything in his power last few games.
Yeah. No, I think now I'm going to comment on the game here, Durban City and Sweden. I think besides the game on the Pirates and Stellenbosch, that is the most interesting game that we are looking forward to. Durban City, you must remember that they are fresh from a Nedbank Cup victory over the weekend, and their spirits are going to be high. Swelele also, they beat Kaizer Chiefs 2-0 last week, and so also themselves, they're going to go into this game with the spirits high. And then also I must say that everyone is playing for something. City, I think we have 4 games, and so it means that everyone is playing for something. Others are playing for championship, others are playing for qualification of CAF football, others are playing for MTN 8 qualification, others are fighting relegation and surviving. So I think that the game between Celtics as well as Durban City is going to be interesting. It's on the Pirates, Stellenbosch, and also not forgetting Vele Magesi, Orbit. I think today we're going to have to see goals. If I can predict the scores, Orbit, Magesi, I would say 1-1. And then Durban City, Swelele, I would give Swelele an edge 1-0 because of the at home and coming from a victory over Kaizer Chiefs. I think that everyone in that team is now confident and their spirits are up into saying that every game maybe that is left this season they ought to go all out. But overall, I think that the Betway Premiership today will be interesting. We're going to be having a lot of interesting games. Like I said, that there's top of the table, there's middle table, there's below the table. So everything is in the play. And good luck to everyone that is going to be playing today.
Yeah.